It's to 9. He's had 3 #1 singles, won 2 of the music industry's most prestigious awards, and he's just released his first solo album. So it's fair to say singer-songwriter Sam Smith has had a busy couple of years.
Sam, who is 22, began singing as a child, but it wasn't until he heckled the support act at an Adele concert that his career really took off.
Well, we'll talk to him in just a moment. First, let's hear his latest #1 single.
Oh, won't you stay with me? 'Cause you're all I need.
Morning, Sam.
Hello.
Now, you're 22 now?
Just turned 22.
Just turned 22. So you probably feel like you're quite old, really. But I mean, I'm intrigued by the story of how you got started, because there you were at this Adele concert, heckling the support act, which is a rather rude thing to do.
Yeah,
to be
true,
honest.
very true.
And then what happened?
Well, I was 16 and I was at an Adele show, and I heckled the support act, and then I got through to him on MySpace that night, just saying sorry. I was just a weird 16-year-old, and then 3 years later, I moved to London when I was 18. And I was working in a bar, and 4 years later, I was 19. I went to a gig, and the same guy was there, and I went up to him, was like, "Do you remember?" And he remembered me from MySpace, and then he was a music manager, so now he manages me.
So if you hadn't heckled him, you might not
Yeah.
be sitting on the sofa right now.
I wouldn't be. It's one of, but there's so many moments and things like that. If you don't meet the right people at the right time, things won't turn out the way they have.
Now, your album, it's actually quite sad in parts, isn't it? It's all about unrequited love.
Yes.
Why? It's really personal, I know.
Yeah, well, I've never been in a relationship before, and I was kind of getting a bit sick of kind of being with my friends and them being in relationships, and me almost not being able to give them advice, feeling like I couldn't give them advice. And I wanted to make an album that proved that I have been in love. It's just not in the conventional, perfect way. I was in love with someone, so the relationship was just me. And I wanted to put unrequited love on a bit of a pedestal and write a body of work about it.
It takes a bit of courage, though. I mean, it's one thing to be sitting in your bedroom writing lyrics about how lonely you are and how you wish you were in love and all that stuff, but then to actually sing it and have it broadcast to the world.
It's true. Like even the album cover, I always say, like that's all up everywhere, and it's basically my face saying I'm lonely.
And so now everybody knows it.
It's true. It's true. But I wanted to do that, and it's important for me to be honest in music. I feel like it connects more, and also when people say it's sad, I get upset, because it to me it's more brave. I feel like it's me calling the album In the Lonely Hour for me is a brave thing.
And we mentioned Adele at the start. Actually, a similar thing worked for her, didn't it? Because her first album was about heartbreak, because when she had her heart broken, people really relate to that personal story, don't they?
Well, I feel like in life nowadays, people love realism, and people love to see imperfection. You know, Keeping Up with Kardashians, Big Brother, all these things. Like, and I didn't want the music to be different to that. I'm 22 years old, and I just wanted to be a 22-year-old boy writing an album.
Your first solo #1 single, which is also on the album, is Money on My Mind.
Yes.
Let's have a listen to that.
I do it for the song I don't have. I do it for the.
That's you in Vegas.
Yes.
Did you like it there?
It's an interesting place.
You didn't love it, did you?
It was all right. It was a bit odd. There's like club music coming from the lamppost at like 8 in the morning, so it was a bit weird.
The material you have for this album you've had ready for some time. It sort of seems to have been polished within an inch of its life. Are you a perfectionist in that regard?
Yes, I like to. Well, I am, but I just like to make sure I'm confident in what I'm putting out. But some of the tracks on this album are just demos that we've mastered, so they're quite raw.
And how are people reacting to this music now? Because people get quite emotional about your songs, don't they?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I really didn't expect for people to react the way they have, and I'm very thankful for anyone that comes to my shows or buys the album. Thank you.
What is this we hear about? You're breaking new ground, or you're planning to, or hoping to, by performing live in a commercial break on TV, is that right?
Yeah, most of my team are amazing. This is just, evidence of how amazing my team are. I've basically, someone came up with this idea of the last ad break on Alan Carr. They're going to go live to the Roundhouse, which is my biggest show to date, and I'm going to perform my single "Stay With Me" live in the advert break with Google Plus.
So is that a paid commercial break, but the commercial consists of you singing?
Yeah, the whole commercial is me live singing my song, and it's the last song of my show, so it'll be a moment, I think.
You're really keen on that, aren't you? Breaking new ground and doing new things all of the time.
100%. That's what we should do all the time. Take risks, and it's exciting.
Technically, Sam, it's a really difficult thing to do. You've got to time your whole gig up to the second, not the minute.
I'm not going to lie, I'm very scared. I mean, I've got to time it really well, but hopefully people will help me out with that.
You should talk to Bill Turnbull. He's really good at talking to the exact amount of seconds he needs to.
Famous last words.
Really?
No.
It is.
Sam, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Sam Smith's album's called In the Lonely Hour, and he'll be on tour later this year. That's 3,600 seconds, just so you know.
Told you he was good. Now here's someone who is never lonely.